Yep, it's been nice to get some real sleep over these quarantine weekends. I'm sure nothing is going to ruin this at all. Oh no, I just realized what I just said. Hello, caffeine, my old friend.
Okay, in all seriousness, yes, Healin Good Precure is coming back next week on the 28th. I've actually been hearing rumors about this for a while, but I've held off on doing a video until we got official word beyond even TV listings, which in my view are cards subject to change. But there's no denying it now, the rerun of episode 12 that came out yesterday in Japan had this text saying that episode 13 airs next week, and they also released this statement on their website and social media, which, yeah, unless Toei really is the WWE, there's no question at this point.
My immediate first thoughts are that yes, I am glad that the show is coming back and that I can once again do my weekly reviews again, as well as have a reason to buy some more coffee beans. But at the same time, I would be lying if I said I wasn't a little concerned about how the pandemic may have affected the show.
We have seen Toei rewrite a Precure series before with Sweet after the Tohoku tsunami of 2011. As a result, they seem to change a lot of significant plot points around, which produced a very middle-of-the-road series in my opinion. And Healing Good has it much worse, as not only did they miss a lot more weeks than Sweet, they also have to deal with the little issue that their show is about defeating an evil empire built around spreading a viral disease. To me, they could go about this two ways. One, the bad way, which would be to hold back on the medical themes, which would unfortunately include Nodaka's condition, which was one of the best parts of the show in terms of both raw emotion and drama. Or two, the good way, which would be to double down and show these girls conquering viruses of any sort. Obviously, I hope for the latter. And then there's also that missing weeks issue I mentioned. Now, I think the most ideal outcome would just to not mind the real world calendar and just air the full series as planned. I highly doubt this will happen, as Toei is a company that needs to make its revenue by introducing a new series every year. Plus, there's probably all sorts of behind-the-scenes stuff that they would have to deal with TV Asahi, so some episodes might need to be cut. Now, if this results in some slightly less important filler episodes being cut, then c'est la vie. Heck, if they don't want some scripts to go away, they could always, put them on their official YouTube and treat it like the first season of Sailor Moon Crystal. Ultimately, though, I can't predict the future, so all I can do is hope for the best, and regardless, I will provide you guys with my reviews that are of even more questionable quality than this show at this point. Also, just in case anyone wants to ask, I don't read spoilers, nor do I discuss them on this channel. Not that I think it really matters, because again, cards subject to change.
Now, with all that said, I don't want to just leave you guys with a video basically saying, yay, Healing Good is coming back, and do want to give you guys something special to celebrate the occasion. So you know what? Why don't we take a look at what Toei has been giving us in the meantime? A poorly put together puppet show that makes the closing segments of Asobi Asobase look like Hitchcock by comparison.
Okay, sorry, I was half joking that time. Yes, these videos Toei has been posting every Saturday on their official Precure YouTube channel look cheap as all hell and are clearly made with a skeleton crew, but for what they are, they're cute and charming. It's just plushies of the healing animals being puppeted by some Kuroko, I'm guessing from Shinkenger. But these are clearly just harmless fun, and at least the voice actors are getting some easy paychecks. The plushies play games, try to figure out how juicers work, and for our purposes today, did a couple of videos involving food.
So in case you couldn't tell by the fact I'm wearing my cooking jinbei, this video is actually going to be a little bit of a twofer. A little bit of news, and a little bit of cooking. So let's start the morning off right, or evening, depending on when you watch this video. I live in Hawaii, so my morning will likely be different than yours. But still, let's take a look at some omurice and toast healing animal style.
So to get things started, let's go to my ugly and warped cutting board that I really should get around to replacing, and start by peeling and finally chopping a quarter of an onion. Yes, on its own, this guy doesn't look like much, but for our purposes, I'd actually argue it's a little too much. Still, we got all the recipes, so after this guy gets a good chop, or the best I could do with my limited knife skills, let's break out the wieners. And for the sake of authenticity, I bought these guys from my local Asian food market, and they're actually made from Kurobuta pork. Probably a little overly fancy considering what we're going to do to this poor little piggy, but oh well. We're just gonna chop these dogs into about 8 equal sized pieces plus the 4 tips, so basically 12. Almost looks like we could summon the Eternal Dragon with these. Anyway, the next thing we're going to need that you should probably make before anything else is some cooked rice that's still fairly warm. We're just gonna put this in a microwave safe mug, yes, you can guess where this is going, and supposedly fill it up about 60% up to the top. I say supposedly because, as we'll soon see, I think 40 would actually be better, but oh well, I'm sure we can trust the plushies that can't even move on their own. And in goes our chopped onions that are already filling this up to the top, see what I mean? Still, try to give this a good mix, and then go in the wieners, and yes, feel free to chuckle at that if you wish. Anyway, they're going in with a little ketchup, and we're just gonna give them another messy mix, as well as throw in some salt and pepper that I totally didn't forget to add in, before covering it with some plastic wrap, and doing the unthinkable, throw all of this into the microwave. Yes, this is one of those kinds of recipes. Now, I will admit, this does make for some very easy cooking, but honestly, I own a bunch of pans just for these sorts of purposes. But, my inner cooking snob aside, we're just gonna nuke this guy for 1 minute, giving us just enough time to assemble the other half of our healthy breakfast, our white bread and butter. So anyway, we're gonna make some Healing Animal paw print toast, which of course will require an outline made from some foil, which I just so happen to have here, along with some clean kitchen shears, not your regular old scissors that you use for arts and crafts. And okay, so we're gonna do this all in one go, and yeah, totally nailed it, and I didn't have to make this in advance or anything. Okay, obviously I did, but still, I'm gonna give at least some quick pointers. So, you're gonna first want to fold up the foil up lengthwise, and then do the same right above it with a much smaller heart to represent the middle toe print. Unfold it, and then do the same about a third of the way on each side of the foil to make the outer toe prints. And before we apply the foil, I'm just gonna spread a lot of butter on this guy to give the foil a glue to stick to, as well as promote browning in the right places. And there, that looks good. Just gonna trim off a little extra foil and put it aside. And then we're just gonna take out our nuked rice, wieners, onions, and ketchup, which looks better than that sounds at least. Next up is the omu or omelet part of this recipe with a single chicken egg beaten along with some salt, pepper, and mayonnaise. And before anyone gets grossed out by that last ingredient, take note, I'm using this Japanese brand of mayo called Kewpie. It is much lighter and smoother than anything you can find here in the States, and I absolutely hate it because I can never go back to that cheaper junk ever. Regardless, it's going to act as a nice neutral stabilizer for our egg. Just gonna drop in 2, maybe 3 squeezes and mix it all well together. And that's just gonna go on top of our rice, and thankfully it doesn't overflow. Rewrap it with the plastic, and this is going back in the microwave for 2 minutes, while of course our paw print bread is going into the toaster. A couple minutes later, and our egg is done, but not quite our toast for reasons you'll see in just a bit. Still, we'll bring everything out together to take a look at what we got. First, our omurice, which looks okay, and then our toast does look much better, and yes, I toasted a normal slice of bread to act as a control for this little experiment. Why exactly? Well, as I mentioned, I had to give this guy a little extra time because the foil was absorbing a lot of the heat even from the exposed print areas. I was able to pull out the control toast around the same time as the omurice, but this guy needed about an extra minute, which resulted in some not very all-pleasant looking underside. Still, whatever this guy may look like underneath, he's still the star, so let's just put aside this perfectly good toast and try to enjoy this unusual little breakfast. And oh wait, I forgot the most important thing, the final touch for our omurice. I'm just gonna try to draw a paw print with my normal ketchup bottle, which, yeah, isn't all that easy. I actually do own some finer tip squirt bottles, but all of them are being used on other stuff, so this is the best I could do. But hey, at least it looks like a real animal footprint. Anyway, let's give this guy a shot, and oh geez, I think I burnt my tongue there. Probably should have let that cool a little more, but it still tasted fine. Yeah, it doesn't look all that great, then I could use some more eggs for all of this rice, but the onion gives it a nice sweet crunch, and surprisingly, the wieners weren't dry. Meanwhile, the toast tasted like toast. I mean, at least the underside wasn't overly burnt, and I was able to enjoy it like any other toast I'd eat during the week. Of course, since Healing Good promotes togetherness, why don't we try eating these guys together, and yeah, that actually tastes better than the sum of its parts. So yeah, while this isn't the greatest breakfast ever, I'm still willing to finish it, and I would certainly appreciate it a lot more than that ungrateful Nyata and his instant noodles.
So yeah, that was a little weird to say the least, but I will admit, I had a lot of fun making it, and it was really easy, so if you're feeling especially lazy on one Sunday morning, I'd say give it a shot. With Healing Good once again into my sleep schedule, I might legit have to make this for myself more often now. But still, let's look forward to the Doctor Cures coming back next week, no matter what form they may take. And if anything else, you could enjoy my Happiness Charge review. Hopefully the last part will be out later this week, I'm not sure. The script is coming out longer than I expected, but I'll still try to get it out to you guys as soon as I can. So, look forward to all of that, and until then though, farewell for now my friends, and... hi guys, I guess you're not all that happy that I made fun of your fellow plushies, huh? Well, I'm just gonna go over here and, pack my bags.